be able to do that. We'll be able to get over the hump. I really like our team this year. I like the pieces that we have. We just have to understand who we are and to do that at a high level every day.
Do you guys know who you are yet?
No, but I don't think anyone does. I think everyone's trying to figure it out. Look, with the way college basketball is right now, we're not the only team that has a lot of new guys. I mean, it's a lot of new faces everywhere. When I was at ACC Media Day, they split it up now. It's half and half. Half of the teams are there one day, the other half the next day. We were there, I think, with 6 other teams, and I'm looking at the guys on their team, and I don't really know who they are. That's different from how it was 3 years ago. And so I don't think anyone really knows who they are. I know what we have to do in order to become the team that we want to be, and it's those things that I said earlier. Like, we're not going to be a pretty team. We have to be a team of grit, of toughness, of unbelievable competitiveness. We have to be dialed in and locked in every second we're across those lines out there.
A bunch of those new guys in the ACC are also coaches. I mean, do you have a sense of who some of these new guys are and what their
the coaches?
Yeah, what their identity.
I mean, I know who they are, but I don't know. I haven't seen them coach yet, so I don't know. I know this from experience. You got a lot of ideas when you're sitting in that second or third seat. When you're the guy, and everything is on you, every decision is on you, then it's a lot different. So I know all of those guys, the new guys in our league. I know they're good coaches. I've had a chance to watch a little bit of Florida State on a game the other day. I just flipped it on and saw them, and they played really, really hard, really fast. And obviously I've had a chance to watch Will Wade's teams play, Ryan Odom's teams play, because those guys have been head coaches. Jay is new. He's never been a head coach. I know he was a good player, really good basketball mind. I'm sure he'll do a really good job down there. They have a lot of talent on their roster, but until you see him, you don't know. And they're trying to figure out their teams like us.
What have you seen from Makari since he got on campus?
Yeah, he's done well. He's been a pleasant surprise. Not that I had expectations for him, but he's been a pleasant surprise. Mac is a guy that he's not going to wow you in a drill. But when you get to competition, whatever it is, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, that's when his play starts to stand out. We knew that about him when we got involved with him late. We knew that he was competitive. We knew that he was a late bloomer. We knew that he was a guy that had a toughness about him, a competitiveness about him. Certainly there was talent there, but the intangibles are the things that really we felt like fit us and that we fit him. And he's done a really good job of learning, of being a willing learner, a willing listener, and he's gotten a lot better since he's been here.
How has Barry Dunning looked for you just in the practice setting, and then how would you assess the 2 scrimmages?
Yeah, I think he's done some good things in both scrimmages. He's done a lot of good things in practice. We need those things to translate more consistently to when we get into playing opponents. We want Barry's talented. Barry, there has to be a level of competitive spirit all the time with him. He's a really, really nice guy and a really good guy, but we need him to flip a switch at times when he's on the court, and it can't take us having to curse him all the time and things like that. Like, it has to be there. He has an athleticism. He can shoot the basketball. He can defend multiple positions. I thought he's made some good passes at times. He just can't play weak on the court. And that's where the competitive spirit needs to kick in all the time.
Coach, November right around the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, next week. Just what would make it a successful November for you guys?
To win a lot of games, to really play to what we need to be, what that identity needs to be, those things that I said earlier, to show up like that every day. If we do that, then I like our chances of putting ourselves in a position to have a chance to win. But we have to do that every day. We have to understand that's who we have to be all the time.
Coach, I don't know if anyone asked you this, but apparently G League players are now able to come back and play in college now. What are your thoughts on that whole process?
I mean, I just wish I would have known. You know what I mean? Like, it was just something that, just kind of happened. it happened in Santa Clara first. So I wish that we would have been as smart as Herb Sindak, a Yinzer, that kind of figured this thing out. Like, it wasn't like we got a memo from the NCAA that this was possible, or the NABC. It was just something that kind of like happened, and everyone, I think, made a bigger deal when it happened in Louisville. But to me, it's, you get guys that are pros from overseas. You get guys that are coming to college from overseas that are 22, 23 years old. So I'm not tripping off of it. I just wish we would have known. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to have known that back in July, or in August or in September. The communication part of it is the part that I think that was, is the part that I'm disappointed in. But the fact that they get to do it now, I think there have to be some lines. Like, if you have declared for the draft and went through the draft process and played in summer league and done all of that stuff, even though you've been in the G League, I don't think you should be able to play college because you've gone through that process. But if you're just in the developmental league and, doing that, and you haven't gone through any of those things, then to me, you're like a foreign guy, a guy from overseas that's played.
There've been a lot. You mentioned communication, and there are a lot of new rules now after the house settlement and everything like that. Do you feel like communication on those things has been clear, and you guys understand what kind of?
I don't know if they're rules. I really don't know, and if they are, then I don't know them. Like, it's a lot of gray, and so I've been consistent in saying this. Like, I think every coach just wants to know what you can and can't do. Like, what are the rules? Who can you recruit? How many years are you going to have them? You keep hearing now this 5-for-5 thing. They're going to have 5 years of eligibility, and that's it. Are they going to change the transfer rules? Are they going to be able to play 5 years and still transfer every year? Like, I just wish there was transparency. Like, with this new G League thing, with them being able to do it, it's another step in we are pro sports. Like, that's what we are. We need to stop kidding, but I get it, because these are supposed to be institutions of education. And so it's like we're in this weird place, but we're pro sports. And since we are pro sports, we're the only league. Every league that I watch, and I watch all pro sports. Well, let me take that back. I don't watch all of them, but I watch the majority of them. Every sport, if I was sitting in my office today and I had something on, had the volume down, but I look up and I see scrolling across the bottom is breaking news on ESPN. And it's Aiden Hutchinson signed for 4 years, and it had, I can't remember the salary. It was 160 or maybe it was less than that. I can't remember. But what I'm saying is that you know what he got. There's transparency. In the NBA, if you need a starting point guard, you know what the market is because there's transparency. If you need a backup point guard, you know what the market is because there's transparency. We have no idea. There's no transparency with anything. And so that's what I mean. Like, there are no rules for us. Like, people are calling me already about, hey, this kid's going to go in the portal after the season. We haven't played a game yet. You know what I mean? And so, like, it's all of these things. I just wish we had rules. Not that, I just wish we had some, because we don't right now.
Good? All right.